Welcome to City and State TV. I'm Executive Editor Michael Johnson. I'm joined today by two special guests. Marissa Shorenstein is the president of AT&T New York, and Jason DaSilva is a filmmaker. You're also a judge in the Connectability Challenge that the AT&T and New York University's Ability Lab is doing. And that's why we wanted to bring you guys in. This is a really interesting stuff you guys are doing, trying to use prize money to get people to develop apps that will help people with disabilities, living with disabilities. You're living with MS. So before we talk about your specific challenges and the app that you'd like to address that, I wanted to have Marissa kind of tell us a little bit about this challenge and how it came about.
Thank you so much for having us. And we thought about this challenge because we're coming upon the 25th anniversary of the Americans with Disabilities Act on July 26th. And we've seen how much technology has transformed people's lives, and we know how much more can still be done for people with different types of disabilities. And so we worked with NYU and their Ability Lab, as well as others, to come up with this idea to create a challenge worldwide for developers, both amateur and professional, to help create applications, wearables, whatever it is that could be most useful, and to submit those ideas for consideration for this prize money. We're going to announce the winners on the actual 25th anniversary, which we're really excited about. And the difference between this challenge and other challenges that we've done in the past is that we're using an exemplar model, which has never been done before. And Jason is one of 4 exemplars that we've been working with, and he's been really fantastic throughout this process, to specifically guide developers about what it is that they would like to see, so that developers can work towards specific problems and come up with solutions that can actually help real-life people who are struggling with disabilities.
Yeah, and you guys had some videos that you guys shot with all the exemplars. Let's take a look at your video really quickly, and we'll talk about it after that.
In my wildest dreams, what I would like tech to do for me is to create a augmented reality tool where I can go around the city, not having to use my hand, and be able to navigate and find out all the accessible places around me. Like that, for example, just like one step means that I can't get into it. So the apps that I would look for developers to help me with is things like hands-free apps, even things like moving my mouse around, GPS apps as well. What drives me to keep expressing myself is the fact that the stories I tell and other people with disabilities tell are not stories that the general public are hearing.
So what struck me about this video was that one scene where you're driving by a coffee shop and there's a very small step and you're just like, I can't get up there from that step. That must be your everyday life.
Yeah, for sure. So like for me, that step, as you saw in the video, small step for me, for everybody else, it's actually like a huge step for me. That means basically that I can't get in someplace. So yeah, so that's a very good example of what I'd love to see developed in a challenge. It's like an app that can find a way to provide solutions for some of the accessibility challenges.
And you weren't the only exemplar who asked for apps to have the disability or places that are more handicap friendly as an aspect of the app. Also, hands-free was a big one. Another exemplar talked about that. Why is hands-free so important for you and then for the other people?
Well, for me, right now, I can't even, these days I'm not able to use my phone. So in a way, it's hands-free is like a huge solution to actually getting me to use the technology that I would like to use on a day-to-day basis. So yeah, so even if it's not the phone, or if it's like my computer or whatever it is, hands-free would be a great solution.
And I know you're a filmmaker, so you use a lot of tools for editing, a lot of technology, and that's got to be a little bit difficult without full use of your hands as well.
Really difficult. So you can imagine right now what it is I dictate to somebody else who does the motion for me. So all it is, my solution right now, is having somebody beside me to like press the buttons and to use the mouse and things. And there has to be an easier way. It's like all about independence.
Definitely. Tell us a little bit about the deadlines, the goals for this. When is this? When are the applications due, and when are all the judges going to get together and decide who wins?
Sure. So this is a long-form challenge. It's been going on for a while, and it culminates on June 24th when people need to submit their final applications. And then there's a public voting period, which we're very excited about because we love to engage the public all around the world to tell us their feedback about these apps that come in, especially people from the disability community. If they weigh in, that will be really helpful to us. And then the judges get together, they go through all the final submissions, we tally it up, we vote, and we announce the winners on July 26th. So we're very excited.
Great. I know that the challenge is one of many that you've done. You've done many of these. The prize money for this one is a lot higher. You went to $100,000. What was the reasoning behind that? Was it just because you've been successful with the other ones? You said, like, let's do something bigger, a bigger achievement there? And was this kind of did you want to get more ideas? And do you feel like it's going to bring in more ideas, more people that are going to compete for this?
Well, there are several different tracks because we have 4 exemplars. We're looking for applications that find solutions for each of them. And so there's more areas that we're looking for development. But more than that, we've done work in the transit space and in other types of spaces with app development where there's been more robust technology built to date and more applications. In this area, there's still a long way to go. AT&T developed what's called Watson technology, which is voice recognition technology. But there's still a lot that can be done in this space. And so we wanted to give as much money as possible to people to make sure that we engage them in the process, especially because we hope that that prize money will be used for them to continue to develop those apps and bring them to market. We've been really successful in the past, especially with our transit challenges, that some of those apps are now used by millions of New Yorkers. Some have been bought by major companies and are used today widespread. So that's what we're hoping for with this challenge as well.
And as a judge, what would you like to see? What do you think would be the ideal app that you would see? And I'm sure you've thought about this. Like, this is the one thing that would just make my life better.
Yeah, you know what's great? The one that I've been thinking about is because my vision is not so great. So to have something where you can actually see out of the HD monitor through your eyes, like the screen around you. I'm not a developer, but I don't think it would be that difficult to do. But for me, that would be like an automatic solution just to be able to see better. And
before I let you guys go, what's like the next step for you guys? Obviously, you're still very focused on this right now, but I mean, it seems like the possibilities are endless with this. So what would be like, I guess, the bigger ideas that you're starting to think about as far as future challenges that as you continue to do this?
We have seen so much interest in this issue over the past 2 months, and so we hope very much that this won't be the end after July 26th, that we might continue in the disability space to help people. And other than that, we're always interested in the transit space as well as with our It Can Wait campaign in looking at the intersection between pedestrians and cyclists and drivers in New York and apps that can help ensure traffic safety, which is something that we worked on last year and we hope to do more of. So we don't know what the next big idea is, but these 3 areas are really important to us at AT&T, especially in New York, and we hope to continue them.
Great. Well, I'd love to have you guys back in August after the winners have been announced to talk about who won, and then just to talk about how this maybe this technology and all of the ideas that you guys have seen have maybe advanced, the level of just being able to help people who have disabilities and help people like you. Jason DaSilva, filmmaker, Marissa Shorenstein, president of AT&T New York. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you for having us.